Yo, what is currently occurring, Home Incisions? Dialogue towards your maternal caregiver. Welcome to my infant bedding structure. Today's show is going to be propelling projectiles in posteriors. West Side female canines.
Wow. Just wow. I literally felt myself die inside.
Okay, that's enough of that, Boulder Dash. Today's episode is going to be very bad.
The bar's not exactly set all that high in the first place.
You're not helping. Anyway, in today's experiment, I decided we're going to get hip with the kids in the street. And who better to be the subject of our inspiration than the freshest gangsters on the block?
Ugh, I'm not prepared for today. Oh, so we're drawing Team Skull today?
Correct, Nurse, my dear. Team Skull have quickly become a favorite band of villains, not just for me personally, but the entire Pokemon fandom in general.
It's not really hard to see either. They're such an affable bunch.
Indeed, it's been quite a while since we've had an enjoyable evil Pokemon team. Let's face it, the last several teams we've had have been utterly embarrassing.
Really? How so?
Let's take a look at where the cracks started to show. Team Aqua and Team Magma. The predecessors to Gen 1 and 2's highly successful Team Rocket, these two teams shook up the formula by facing off against one another, rather than against our protagonist directly. Depending on the version of the game you played, the goal was to either stop Team Magma erasing the ocean to have more land, or to stop Team Aqua flooding the planet to create more ocean. Both teams feeling it necessary to terraform the world for the betterment of humanity. The only problem with that motivation is there's no actual need to terraform the planet.
That is true. No one in Hoenn seems to show any sense of discomfort, nor is there a present danger of drought or flooding before Team Aqua and Magma's climate-changing shenanigans. So yeah, I could see their motivation being pretty weak. Still, Team Galactic has it even worse in that regard. They wanted to literally remake reality by manipulating time and space, claiming they're unsatisfied with the present reality, but never actually said what causes their dissatisfaction. Again, there's just nothing that was already wrong with the Pokemon world to even warrant a need, much less justify rewriting all of existence. It doesn't help that they were led by a sociopath.
And then there's Team Plasma. The funny thing about these guys is they kind of actually had a point to begin with. They had a compelling argument at first, considering this is a world where cockfighting is essentially legal and encouraged, but then they go and shoot their plan in the foot by being so blatantly evil about their methods, kicking animals and talking like a Pokemon version of Peter.
Not to mention their leader. He takes the cake if his master plan plays out. If I'm understanding this correctly, his plan involves brainwashing a young boy and using a cult's dogma to reinforce the belief that humans and Pokemon need to be separated for their own safety because of the consequences of conflict. Which again, actually is rather diabolical until
that gets thrown out of the window when it turns out the real reason for the scheme was to convince all other trainers to release their Pokemon, so that the cult leader would be the strongest trainer by default! Hey, guess this. Newsflash for you. Just because everyone releases their Pokemon doesn't mean they can't just go to the store, buy new Pokeballs, and catch new Pokemon to teach deadly moves to beat your ass down with!
Yeah, if he wanted his plan to work, he should have monopolized and liquidated the Pokeball production industry, then cornered the market to restrict access to Pokeballs at the very least.
And then there's Team Flare.
Ugh! Yeah, Team Flare.
Okay, are you sitting down for this one? These guys' shtick is they want to be more fashionable than everyone else in the world and make a profit doing so.
Never mind the fact that that's weak motivation to begin with, but couple that with the motives of their leader, Lysander.
Boo! You stink!
He literally built a cannon to nuke the world because he believes the world of Pokemon is full of pain and suffering and people fight over resources. They're totally not suffering at all, by the way. If you haven't seen the pattern already, allow me to reiterate. Everything in Pokemon World is fine.
Not to mention the solution to this perceived problem is mass genocide. How does that even help? So basically, the team's leader's goals don't even have any coinciding elements to the goals of the rest of the team. I get the feeling there was a major breakdown in communication and a severe lack of focus in their direction.
But, after all that, we finally get a breath of fresh air with Team Skull. A band of outcasts, misfits and thugs that, when you really get down to it, just want to feel like they belong. There's a tangible sense of honor among thieves here, you could say.
That's right! Plumeria definitely looks out for the grunts in much the same way a big sister or mother would, and at no point berates the grunts' failure against the protagonist. Rather, she stands up for them and challenges you herself in their defense.
Then of course you have everybody's boy, Guzma. Oh, how I love this guy, let me count the ways. He oozes charm and charisma in ways unlike our past Evil Team's leaders have. And his goal is that of anarchic retribution against the system he feels has failed him and others as well. He's not trying to remake reality or conquer/destroy the world. He just wants to say fuck you to the establishment. A sentiment I can rather get behind.
That's true! Unlike the past games, we do see their motives actually play out throughout the game, and when you begin to understand not only their plight, but the support they have for one another, you begin to see a group of miscreants that have actual feelings and find comfort in one another, even if it is inundated with hip jive talk.
You just be jelly of their street cred, yo.
Oh, don't you start with that!
We should talk for a moment about another interesting facet of character design. In particular, familiars.
Oh, yes, that's actually a good thing to mention. To clarify, in this context, familiars refer to characters or creatures who represent and act on the acting character's behalf. So in this case, we're considering Pokemon to be familiars to their trainers.
So what am I talking about exactly? Well, you may have noticed over the last 20 years of Pokemon game history that certain characters' personalities can be shown visually, simply by showing what kinds of Pokemon they have. Like how bikers tend to have dark or poison-type Pokemon, showing their sinister and venomous traits.
Right! Or how scientists favor Steel-type Pokemon in relation to their mechanical expertise.
Correct. This is even more noticeable with key characters, such as gym leaders, and in this case, villain teams. Fans tend to refer to such Pokemon as a trainer's signature or ace Pokemon.
Guzma uses the Generation 7 Pokemon, Golisopod. Like Guzma, it's a large and intimidating creature that's appearance clearly gives the impression that it can destroy anything it touches. In contrast, though, Golisopod's dex entry states it's calm and meditative. Guzma, on the other hand, clearly has anger issues, so there's a contrast between the two.
Plumeria's ace Pokemon is Salazzle. I have to be careful what I say here. Gotta keep this video ad-friendly after all. Salazzle's design is difficult to talk about without addressing some of the weirder territories of the Pokemon fandom. Even the developers don't shy away from the overtly sexual nature this Pokemon has. I mean, look at its dex entry for Pete's sake.
Oh my.
These design elements don't limit themselves to Salazzle's dex entry either. Some speculate that the patterns on its stomach resemble lingerie underwear, and its pheromones can be comparative to the concept of love potions.
So how does this correlate with Plumeria, I hear you ask? Well, have you seen the girl? Damn, girl, she be looking hot, yo. That's a belly you can cook steak on, hot shot style, am I right, fellas? Am I right? Can I get an amen over here?
Oh my god, can you stop talking jive? We're white enough as it is, and I'm green! But yes, all in all, these are great design concepts to keep in mind when creating something to represent a character and act for them.
Go you fine.
I have to wonder, the trials that replace gym battles in this game aren't exactly brain teasers. So how exactly did guys like Guzma and Plumeria fail them and not become captains?
I wouldn't be so sure of that, my dear.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Let's analyze a few things and you'll understand. Team Skull are based in Po Town, which has had barricades set up to prevent your passage. These are no ordinary barricades. They're in fact the same ones used in trials throughout the Island Challenge in the game.
That's true?
Furthermore, clear passages are strategically placed to allow the protagonist to bypass these barricades.
They are pretty oblivious.
And then when you enter the rundown mansion, you have a task to complete. Find a series of passwords that are once again strategically left out in the open, and contain information in the form of notes.
Those messages were easy to find, but where are you going with this?
Let me finish. When the protagonist eventually collects all the passwords, even one that genuinely threw me for a loop, what does the Team Skull guard who clearly knows you're not a member of Team Skull do?
He lets you inside with no problems. Wait.
And then you see Guzma sitting there waiting for you, having expected you to come, and challenges you to a battle.
Just like the Totem and Trial Captain battles.
And just like in all the trials, after winning the battle, you get...
A sea crystal! Bugginium C!
Which means...
Guzma really did become a Trial Captain! Yeah. Maybe not officially, but... Wow!
Yes. Having said that though, it's only a theory. A game theory. So, with our tribute to Team Skull completed, shall we?
Fine, let's...
Thanks for once again watching our show, everyone. Full artworks can be found in the description below as always.
Concoction ordering info and social links are also available. And do like, favorite, and subscribe to catch new episodes every week. And be sure to share this and our other videos with friends. Gotta watch them all.
Now, if you don't mind, I'm off to go catch a Salazzle. I mean, how hard can that be?
Go, you fly high.